My name's Phil Wood and I am the Group IT Director at Rotork PLC. I'm also the Chief Information Officer and the Programme Director for our Microsoft Dynamics AX implementation. I've been at Rotork for just over 4 years and I came in with the brief to lead business change enabled by new systems and technology.
Please could you tell us about Rotork?
Rotork is a British FTSE 150 PLC company. It's been around for about 55 years and provides flow control solutions to customers in over 100 countries globally. Our main customers are in oil and gas, but we also deal in water and wastewater and even industries like mining and pharmaceuticals and food. Rotork employs around 3,000 people across the world. 350 of these are service engineers who will one day all use our service management solution. We have around 60 factories and service centres across the world serving our customers. And traditionally they were product supply and we were a product-centric company. Product quality has always been at the heart of our business, but increasingly service is not only a profitable business line, but it's also a key differentiator in the eyes of our customers. Rotork has had many fragmented and disparate systems in its operations across the world. The implementation of Microsoft Dynamics AX was to create a standard platform for all of our businesses to use the same way everywhere across the world. In many of those locations, service management is key to the operation, and we wanted the same everywhere to apply to service as well. So Dynamics Software Service Management solution as part of the AX platform means that we can run our service businesses across the world the same way, which gives us common metrics, common measures and performance of our business across the world. We recognised that customers wanted more from our service business, which was traditionally around product sale, and we had perhaps given away the service side of our business too easily as part of the product. We now have service product lines which cover commissioning and installation, repairs, warranties and even preventative maintenance contracts. And those service offerings can be transacted using service management, so really give us a professional service business to offer to our customers.
What were the reasons for ultimately selecting the Dynamics Software Service Management solution?
We chose Microsoft Dynamics AX in 2010 as our global enterprise system platform, primarily for accounting and job cost management. We had a number of service management systems in place in the business, but they offered connectors or interfaces to AX, which didn't reinforce the integration required from our business. Interestingly, we started with a different service management tool. We started with Hitachi FSA, which was a separate product to Dynamics AX and had an interface or a connector to AX. We found that that didn't give us what we needed in terms of the integration of our service business with the rest of the organisation. We didn't want to run service separate to product sales and installation. We wanted it to run it as one business. So what we needed really was a service management system that was integrated, was part of AX. You couldn't see the join and the two things worked seamlessly together. So we found the service management system from Dynamics Software, and that is truly what I've just said. It seamlessly integrates with AX, it's part of the solution, it reinforces the unity in our business, and we work as one organisation using one system. I think another key component was also the graphical planning and scheduling tool. The service managers really appreciate people don't want to spend a lot of time doing administration. They don't want to spend a lot of time using systems. What they use today are pens and paper and faxes and email. Service management brings a new dynamic for those people, both in terms of automation, but also in rules they must follow, deadlines they must adhere to. So the system has not been completely plain sailing for those people. They have to do things differently, they have to use more structure, there is more systemization of the way that they work. So they are not as free, they're not as flexible in the way that they work. But the experience will be long term that our service engineers can do their work in the professional way that they do, and that the system can capture the information that they need. It will give them information to help them do their job. And overall, there will be a much greater experience for them. In our back office functions, again, they struggled with good quality information. They used spreadsheets, they used ancient systems, they used pieces of software that didn't fit together. AX and service management is completely integrated. They enter the data once and they see the results real time. But that has a burden on those people to key in much greater quantity of data than they used to use, and to do things in the time that those events happen, not at the end of the day or the end of the week or when they had spare time. So again, change pressures for people that affects the way that they worked and ultimately gives them more visibility of their business, more control of their business, more visibility of what the service engineers are doing, and the ability to get better use of the service engineer time. So less wasted effort, less downtime, less frustration for the people doing that work. But it doesn't come without pain. I think there's also an experience on the project side for the IT group. They get to work with new software, new tools, they get to deliver capabilities that they couldn't deliver before. And the project team, the core group of people who are designing and developing the solution and then deploying it to the business, they get to understand how we manage change, how we deliver these sorts of systems. The challenge is in supporting large numbers of people who are working remotely and depend upon them to deliver those systems to them every day. So a huge set of new experiences for people across the business to use information better, to get more information about what's going on, but to have to follow rules, to determine structures, to work with systems in a much more formal way than they ever had to before.
Were there any unexpected changes or factors that came up during the implementation of this project?
Rotork's business involves complex products, complex customer situations, and often innovative and sophisticated ways of delivering those products and services. I don't think we appreciated how complex the system is that needs to transact those business cases. And when you have a complex business and you have a complex way of delivering that business sometimes, the system behind it is sometimes more complex, more difficult to use, not as streamlined, not as easy as you would perhaps anticipate. So complexity, I think, is probably the most significant change or challenge that has come unexpected to the project. We really hoped we could have something that was easy to use, easy to train, easy to document, and would be used easily in a consistent way around the world. What we've discovered is that to be able to transact our business, we have to do more training. People don't get it right first time. Sometimes we have to go back and train them again. We need to give them more support. We need to give them better documentation to get the right practices implemented everywhere the system exists. So complexity is something that we didn't anticipate, and we still don't know how to measure, and we have a goal of it being simpler, we have a goal of it being more streamlined, but we have to be able to transact our business.
Phil, what is important to give attention to in such a project?
In enterprise system projects, the most important thing is data. I think it's also the most overlooked thing, and we have spent a significant amount of time identifying the data that needs to be in the system and getting it to the right quality so that the system can use the data. I don't think anybody in the business appreciated how much effort that takes to not only find it from wherever it is today, to cleanse it, to complete definitions of things, to load it into the system, and then to maintain that going forwards so that things like specifications, things like dates, and all manner of other pieces of data work within the system. I think the second area is around the specification. We used use cases to document the scenarios that the business must transact. And I don't think anybody appreciated how many of those there are. There are thousands of things that we do, and they present themselves in all manner of combinations of business scenarios. documenting those and using those to prove the system is the right way to do it. And it's a significant challenge, it's a significant consumer of time. I think the third thing is also the design of the solution, not to be too ambitious, not to, in your first release, try and encapsulate all functionality that you need, but to have enough to get the business going and to see how that beds in, and then perhaps refine and evolve the solution. Using the service management system, we can do things, for example, like making sure engineers have the right permits and certificates when they go to site, so they don't waste site visits by not being able to get on site. We make sure they have the right skills available for the jobs in hand. And when they do that work, the service management system enables them to capture what they do, to record and to provide information for that job in a much more efficient way. So minimizing administration around recording hours on timesheets and parts used is a key part of streamlining efficiency and utilization. And the service management system is helping us do all of those things.
Is there another solution from Dynamics software that Rotork is using?
We also use the graphical planning and scheduling board. We initially wanted a graphical tool for our service management business to show where our service engineers were working and the sort of jobs that they were doing every day. The graphical planning and scheduling tool from Dynamics software also includes project work and production work on the same planning board, and that's extremely useful for us because sometimes we not only use service engineers to do work on customer sites, but also in our own assembly shops for the bringing together of components and assembly of customer solutions before they go out to the customer site. So that production work can also appear on the same planning board. So you can see a service engineer one day will be on a customer site, and for the rest of the week they may be in the assembly shop putting solutions together. So it brings all of those things together. It also gives the business a single point of view of the utilization and activities of the service engineer, and it gives the service engineer a single point to record all of the activities that they've done in a week, whether it's on-site service or whether it's in our own facility.
What advice would you give to companies who are looking to implement a service management solution?
I think the most important thing is to work out why you're doing it. Rotork's business is about assets on our customers' sites, and asset management is a key capability for Rotork and its customers. We built a system with service management that captures a huge quantity of data about those assets and enables Rotork to provide better service and the customer to have better information about the operation of those assets. But it's not just about asset management. The second part is about what information you want to get out of the system. What do you want to measure and how are those measures related to performance? So it's important for you to know how performance is measured and what data you need to do those sorts of things. More an end-to-end process, not just about the work of the service engineers, but from the beginning, from the sales through to the end and the invoicing and the collections and the sort of processes that you want to improve on the administration side of the business. Another important thing is to realise the scale of your ambition and not to take on too much. Service management for Rotork is a very large part of our business, and when we captured our requirements, there were lots and lots of things we wanted to be able to do, but at the same time we need to implement the system and run our business day to day. One of the key things was around giving our service engineers a handheld tool or a mobile capability. We chose instead to implement service management first, get the processes sorted out, get the administration of the business running in service management, and to bring the mobility side in for a later phase of the project.